Today, we'll discuss one of the most pivotal events in the history of the Ukrainian-Russian war, the Kharkiv counteroffensive operation. Here, Ukrainian troops were able to turn the tide of the fighting. The first major engagements took place near Balakliya, where Ukrainian forces launched a rapid offensive that caught Russian troops off guard. Ukrainian units positioned along the northern sector of the Balakliya front. Ukrainian tanks, primarily T-64BV and T-84 Oplot, move into concealed positions on elevated terrain near villages north of Balakliya. Infantry units equipped with Stugna P anti-tank guided missiles dismount behind tree lines and farm buildings. Russian forces, deploying T-72B3 and T-80BV tanks, are spread thin along the defensive line, supported by BMP-2 infantry fighting vehicles and Grad multiple rocket launchers at rear positions. If you like our work, don't forget to like and subscribe. At 05:20 local time, Ukrainian artillery, including two S-3 Akatsiya 152-meter self-propelled guns, begins concentrated fire on Russian forward positions. FPV drones provide live coordinates for artillery observers targeting enemy concentrations. The tank T-64BV fires its 190 Fatum gun, a direct hit on a BMP-2, igniting it and forcing Russian infantry to scatter. The T-84 Oplot engages a dug-in T-80BV, immobilizing it with a precise shell. Stugna P teams strike remaining T-72B3s at close range. Ukrainian infantry uses AK-74s and PKM machine guns to suppress regrouping enemies, while FPV drone operators track a supply convoy moving to reinforce the front line.
Ворога виявилось доволі багато, і коли почався наступ,
At 6:30, a Russian tank assault begins. The leading vehicles move to the front line and open fire. Two Ukrainian tanks are hit, explode, and burst into flames. Ukrainian operators immediately launch their strike drones. FPV drones race toward their targets, lock on, and with a precise hit, destroy each visible tank. Moments later, the Russian tanks are seen burning after contact with the drones. The battle continues, but the exchange unfolds in a shot counter-strike rhythm, as the drones systematically neutralize the enemy's armored vehicles. On this matter, President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky addressed the nation, saying, "Our troops are returning to their territory. Each recaptured position is a step toward Ukraine's security." He also added, "We will go to the very end, whatever it takes, to reclaim what belongs to us." If you like our work, don't forget to like and subscribe. After taking Balakliya, Ukrainian tanks move east toward Izium. Ukrainian forces sent tanks and equipment in this direction. Ukrainian T-64BV and T-84 Oplot tanks lead the way. The Ukrainian tanks open fire on the Russian tanks. There's a bang and an explosion. A heavy exchange of fire ensues between the tanks. Then another Russian T-72 tank appears, opens fire, but misses. The Ukrainian Oplot tank responds with continuous fire and destroys it. Two more tanks join the Russians. They take up positions and open fire, blowing up the Ukrainian tank. And at this point, Ukrainian drones enter the fray. They lift 3-kilogram bombs and crash from a height directly onto Russian tanks. The tank explodes beyond recognition. The operators continue to direct the drones toward the tanks, blowing up every Russian tank. Russian soldiers run into the forest for cover. While the Ukrainian operators prepare for the second wave of drones, a group of Ukrainian special forces heads into the forest after the Russian soldiers. There's gunfire in the forest. Ukrainian special forces are pressing Russian soldiers in the forest. There's constant gunfire from the Ukrainian side, but the Russians are barely able to respond. One of the Ukrainian soldiers fires a javelin at the Russians. We see an explosion and smoke in the central part of the forest. Then, Ukrainian forces move forward. One of them spots a Russian soldier hiding in cover. They begin firing to check and then throw a grenade. After the explosion, immediately from the opposite side of the cover, a Russian soldier shoots a Ukrainian soldier. But one of his comrades quickly returns fire, while another drags the wounded soldier back. Ukrainian soldiers continue firing. There's also gunfire in another part of the forest. The Russians have no choice but to retreat. Ukrainian special forces are preparing for a decisive strike to clear the area. If you like our work, don't forget to like and subscribe. After the liberation of Izium, the majority of Ukrainian forces headed to Kupyansk, the last important point in the operation to liberate Kharkiv from Russian forces. Ukrainian forces are sending more than 10 tanks toward Kupyansk. Ukrainian soldiers are heading in tanks from the southern part. Upon reaching their destination, everyone disembarks from the transports and takes their places. The Russians understand that if they lose the battle here, they will lose the captured lands, so they have sent all their forces to Kupyansk. A powerful firefight erupts from the trenches. Ukrainian soldiers take turns in the firefight. Firing and holding positions for long is difficult. The fighting continues for a long time, and the Russians are not planning to retreat easily from the lands they have captured. But Ukrainian soldiers are gradually regaining the initiative. Most of the Russian soldiers are shot dead, and the rest retreat deeper into the forest. Ukrainian soldiers follow them into the forest to completely liberate key territories. One of the Ukrainian soldiers uses a grenade. He throws the first one, causing a possible explosion. But return fire is heard from the Russian side, and at this time he throws a second grenade, which completely blows up the Russian soldiers. Ukrainian operators are sending drones into the offensive. Drones with bombs attached to them hit the trenches, blowing everything up. Russian soldiers are exploding before our eyes, one after another. After such strikes, the Ukrainians were able to advance even further. After a long battle, a group of Ukrainian soldiers reached the main Russian positions. Most of them were blown up. After a brief firefight at the last point, the Ukrainians managed to take some prisoners, while the rest retreated completely, abandoning the entire position. And thus, Kharkiv was officially liberated by Ukrainian forces.